Okay, Belkis, let's see here. The first thing is, I don't know, maybe the picture chopped it up, but I don't see a title. We usually subtract 1 mark for no title, just to let you know. Okay, the second thing is, you have to indent your paragraphs. This is not an indentation where you have the little line here, okay? You need to have about 5 spaces here, so really, your paragraph should start about where you have we, yeah? So we need to work on that, okay? As we know, measles, chickenpox, and scarlet fever are the disease that are either common among children or are most common, yeah? But we wouldn't say more common because more is a comparative. So what are you comparing it to? What is it more common than? Okay. Measles, which is a viral infection, is a rash. Its rash appears 3 to 4 days after infection. Okay, so you haven't told me what you're doing here. You're just going in and describing the rash. Yeah, you haven't said anything about differential diagnosis. You haven't told me who you're writing to, why it's important to them. Yeah, you need to say that in the first paragraph, yeah? Okay, let's see how it goes. Anyways, days after infection, location of its rash is behind the ears. Okay, so now you're talking about the location. You're talking about chickenpox. Also, forehead, spreading down the neck, arms, trunk, legs. Also, it emerges on the face. But the location of that was measles. But the location of chickenpox rash is first on the trunk or scalp, and few lesions develop on the mucous membranes, palms of hands, soles of feet. I'm not sure what this word is here. Stroking on the neck, then moving to the trunk, and finally to the arms and legs is the location of scarlet fever rash. Okay. I think you need to start off, explain that. I know that you're trying to stylistically change it a little bit, so you're talking about mumps here, and then you're talking about scarlet fever, but I'm a little confused, yeah? Scarlet fever, the rash of measles looks like, okay, is look like, okay, looks like, something spots, I can't make out that word, at the beginning of the tiny white spots later. Okay, I don't understand what you're trying to say here exactly. On the other hand, the rash of chickenpox are flat pink to red small spots after they become bumpy and then blister with a surrounding halo of redness. Okay, good. But this sounds a little confusing because you put the halo of redness after they blister. I think it's the other way around, yeah? The rash of scarlet fever are 1 to 2 millimeter bumps merging together, and the lesions of chickenpox often occurs in 3 or more successive series of crops. Okay. Become cloudy, then cross over. The rash of scarlet fever may peel later. The rash of measles isn't itchy. Okay. Now you're just mixing everything together. I think this is a new paragraph with when you're talking about being itchy. However, the rash of scarlet fever is itchy. Okay, not always. You're changing the meaning here because they said sometimes scarlet fever is itchy, not always. The duration of chickenpox is 1 to 3 weeks, but for scarlet fever, it lasts 4 to 5 days. Okay, Belkis, you've described all the differential diagnosis items, but you haven't told us what you're doing, who you're writing to, why it's important. So basically, you're going to get 0 for task because you've only really just, given some items for the information. You also would lose some information because you've sort of changed the meaning a little bit, okay? But good job. Thanks.